Ladies and gentlemen, you must understand, we in this country have so many laws on detention. We only talk about ISA. But there are other laws that the police can detain dangerous drugs. Emergency Ordinance 1969. We have got the array of laws. They can detain us. Already the police have power to detain any one of us for 14 days for investigation. And then 60 days for anything under the sun. And then you can go to the minister for extension. This is the situation in this country. So when we, Pakatan, talk about ISA, we're talking about repealing all powers of detention that's not necessary. We accept, for investigation purposes, it may be necessary. We accept. If you want to use detention for terrorist action, fine. Be specific. You want 20 days, we give you 20 days, 30 days. But you cannot use this power to detain and to frighten people and to oppress people. Are we in what? The middle age or the what? We are in 21st century. Kita bangsa Malaysia, kita dah cerdik itu. But they think we're stupid. So that is our struggle. We cannot have unjust laws. How do we treat our citizens fairly? If we have everybody power to detain. You look at the police yesterday. What's wrong with giving us 3 hours to present the memorandum? What's wrong? You can say you can start from point A, you march to point B, and that's it. If you don't leave by 2 o'clock, we're going to gun you down. It's okay. Indonesians can march on Sunday, Saturdays. People in the Philippines, people in other countries, in India, in England, every Sunday. You want to march about your housing problems, you want to march about whatever. Bangsa has got drainage problem, we can march. After a few marches, you retire. So we in Pakatan, we will fight for this right, for expression. The citizen must have a right to voice the disappointment. It must be essential. What country do you want Malaysia to be? So if you think it's so important, this struggle is so paramount for our future, then you have to support Pakatan. There's nobody else. There's nobody else. And some people think that Pakatan leaders are, they just want to go to Putrajaya. No, I think you've got to give them more credit. If you look, you have to give them more credit. The sacrifice that they have made to keep democracy alive in this country. YangAkuSegala Ibrahim spent 6 years in jail for what? For what? You ask me. I ask me. No reason. It was a frame-up charges. They used this law that was part of the essential regulation, corruption where there was no money involved. It was just accusing him of trying to tell the police to don't investigate the complaints against him. But there was no complaint. Do you remember 1998? Who launched a complaint against YangAkuSegala Ibrahim for Scotland? It wasn't Azizah. It wasn't Munawar. It wasn't Sultan. There was no complaint. Was there any medical report against YangAkuSegala in 1988? For Solomon, you must have some action, isn't it? Otherwise. Do you remember 1988? There was no medical report? No, we cannot forget these things. Because that was an unpaid heavy price. He could easily have, serve time, be someone in Washington, London, is wanted in Saudi Arabia, is well-known in the international circuit. He could have an easy life. So YangAkuSegala had something more than just wanting to go to Putrajaya. YangAkuSegala wanted to change this. When you look at Kitsiak, you look at his son running away. For 40 years they've been fighting for democracy. And one man went to jail for what? Because he wanted to preserve the honor of a Malay girl. You cannot do that. And do you think what have Tok Guru and Hadi and Ustaz Fadino and the leaders of past the years gone by, what have they suffered? They have suffered immensely. For what? Because they also, as Islam, as Muslim, as an Islamic party, justice is paramount. Justice is one thing they will fight and fight. And this is a very important. So if you are convinced by the causes and the reasons we are here, then the question is, can we do the job? I'll be very brief on this, as I said, because I have no idea. But Tony Park can convey some of my views to his boss. And so can convey to his boss. And we all are second, third line. We want to see a Pakatan that is solid, unified, structured, and registered as one party. We want to do it. We want to do it. We want to address the concern of our supporters. Are we strong enough? Will pass join our room? All this concern. We want to address it. And we have to address it. And we want to we already have today, not many people will know, we have these articles of what we call a charter on major principles. Respect for the Constitution, respect for freedom, anti-corruption measures. We have all agreed on the big issues. We have just not taken time, and perhaps that's the limitation of resources, that we have not been able to articulate and explain to the people of this country our specific program. But we will get it done. We will get it done. But we need your support, of course. We need your support. There is time for us to express skepticism. There's a time to criticize. But there must be a sacrifice on our part, all of us. Because we are facing a very gigantic task. To unseat a party that makes no distinction between party and government. To unseat a political party that uses the government machinery and the laws to the max. It's not easy. It may not take 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. But when I left the government, I realized it's not easy. It's not easy. But I am now a full-time Pakatan member, and I will fight for you all till we are successful. They can intimidate, they can bribe you, or they can do some fancy, reform. One Malaysia. And they can do fancy reform. Economic policy, liberalize. The 27 services subsector. And then when they asked Mustafa, will it affect the Malays? He said, there are very few Malays in the sector anyway, so it's okay. What we should be asking is, what have you been doing 50 years of independence, 30 years of NEP? How come there will be put us in the subsector? But they never answer that question. They say, Tapa, so some Chinese get excited about it.